Imagine this. It's 9 a.m., your to-do list is huge, and you're ready to crush the day. By 11, your brain feels foggy. After lunch, you're fighting to stay awake. Sound familiar? What if the problem isn't your motivation, but your menu? In this video, we'll build a simple, science-backed nutrition strategy to power your brain for the next 6 to 8 hours. No extreme diets, no obscure powders, just smart choices timed correctly. We'll cover what to eat first thing in the morning, how to avoid blood sugar roller coasters, the right way to use caffeine, and the exact types of meals and snacks that keep your mind locked in. Whether you're studying for exams, working a demanding job, or creating for hours, your food can either fuel or fight your focus. Stay with me, because by the end you'll have a plug-and-play meal plan you can use on your very next deep workday. Before we talk about specific foods, we need a clear goal, steady mental energy for 6 to 8 hours without the crash. That means stable blood sugar, controlled caffeine, and enough protein, fat, and fiber to keep your brain supplied with fuel. In this video, we'll break that into practical steps. What to eat in the first 90 minutes after waking, how to structure a focus-friendly breakfast, how often to snack, what to drink, and how to time meals around long study or work sessions. I'll also give you simple templates so you can mix and match based on your culture, budget, or preferences. If you care about brain performance, nutrition is non-negotiable. So settle in, maybe grab a glass of water, and watch until the end to build your full day focus plan. And if you want more deep dive, evidence-based guides like this, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Let's start with the big picture. Why food affects your focus so much? Your brain uses about 20% of your body's energy even at rest. It prefers a steady supply of glucose, not huge spikes followed by crashes. When you pound a sugary breakfast or oversized pastry, your blood sugar shoots up. Then your body releases insulin to pull it back down. That sharp drop is the mid-morning fog you feel. On the other hand, when you include protein, healthy fats, and fiber, digestion slows. Glucose trickles into your bloodstream more gradually. You feel alert but stable, not wired and then wiped. Also, certain nutrients like omega-3s, B vitamins, magnesium, and choline support memory, neurotransmitters, and stress resilience. You don't need to memorize the biochemistry. You just need to build meals that match what your brain wants. Slow, steady fuel and enough raw materials to keep your mental circuits firing cleanly for hours. What you eat in the first 60-90 minutes after waking sets the tone for the entire day. Many people either skip breakfast or grab something fast and sugary, orange juice, sweet cereal, a big muffin. That's basically a blood sugar roller coaster starter kit. For 6-8 hours of focus, your first meal should do 3 things: stabilize blood sugar, hydrate you, and signal to your brain that fuel is available but not excessive. Here's a simple guideline. Anchor breakfast around protein, add some healthy fat, and choose high-fiber, slow-digesting carbs if you want them. Avoid large doses of pure sugar. Examples: Greek yogurt, or skyr with nuts and berries, eggs with avocado and a slice of whole grain toast, tofu scramble with vegetables and olive oil. If you're not hungry early, even a small protein-rich snack beats going into a deep workday fueled only by caffeine and hope. Protein is your best friend for focus. It's not just for muscles. Protein provides amino acids that your brain uses to make neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine, which help regulate motivation, alertness, and attention. For most people, aiming for 20 or 35 grams of protein at your first meal is a strong target. That might look like 3 eggs plus some Greek yogurt, a tofu and bean scramble, cottage cheese with nuts and fruit, or a smoothie with protein powder, soy milk, and nut butter. Protein also slows digestion, which helps flatten blood sugar curves, preventing that rapid spike and crash pattern. Combine it with some fat and fiber, and you've essentially built a slow-release mental energy capsule. If you're plant-based, mixing sources like beans plus grains or tofu plus seeds helps you cover the full spectrum of amino acids. The point isn't perfection, It's making sure every focus day meal includes a meaningful chunk of protein. Carbs aren't the enemy. Wild swings in blood sugar are. For long, stable focus, you want carbohydrates that digest slowly, paired with protein and fat. Think of carbs on a sliding scale. On one end, sugary drinks, white bread, pastries, candy. These hit quickly, spike blood sugar, and fade fast. On the other, oats, quinoa, beans, lentils, sweet potatoes, fruit, and hearty whole grain breads. These come packaged with fiber and, in many cases, micronutrients your brain loves. A smart focus meal might include half to 1 cup of cooked oats with nuts and berries, or a slice or two of dense whole grain toast with eggs or leftover quinoa and vegetables from the night before. If you're doing intense mental work, you don't need to go ultra low carb. You just want your carbs to behave like a slow IV drip, not a fire hose. When in doubt, ask, does this food still look somewhat like a plant? If yes, it's often a better carb choice. Hydration is the underrated focus tool. Even mild dehydration, around 1 to 2% body weight loss from fluid, can impair attention, working memory, and mood. You might think you're just tired or distracted when you're actually just underhydrated. Start your day with water before heavy caffeine. Aim for at least 300-500 milliliters, 10 to 16 ounces, within the first hour of waking. Add a pinch of salt or an electrolyte tablet if you sweat a lot, live in a hot climate, or drink tons of coffee. Throughout your 6 to 8 hour focus block, sip steadily instead of chugging occasionally. A good rule of thumb, keep water within arm's reach and finish a glass every 60-90 minutes. Herbal teas and black coffee contribute to hydration, but don't rely solely on them. If your urine is consistently dark yellow, you're likely behind. Think of hydration as background maintenance, quiet, unglamorous, but absolutely essential for clean, sustained mental output. Caffeine can be a powerful focus enhancer or a saboteur depending on timing and dose. The key is using it to smooth your alertness curve, not create a roller coaster. First, wait 60-90 minutes after waking before your first coffee or energy drink. This lets your natural cortisol peak do its job so you're not stacking caffeine on top of grogginess and building dependence. Second, go for moderate divided doses instead of one huge hit. For many adults, 100-200 milligrams at a time, once or twice in the first half of the day, is plenty. Combine caffeine with a real meal, not on an empty stomach, to reduce jitters and crashes. Third, set a caffeine cutoff, typically 8 to 10 hours before bedtime, so your sleep, and thus tomorrow's focus, isn't compromised. Remember, caffeine doesn't create energy, it just masks fatigue. The nutrition strategy we're building should mean you need less of it, not more. Even with a strong breakfast, strategic snacks can extend your focus window if you choose them wisely. The goal isn't to constantly eat, it's to prevent big dips. Think of snacks as mini, balanced meals, not just something to chew on. Aim for at least 2 of these 3: protein, healthy fat, fiber. Examples: an apple with peanut or almond butter, Greek yogurt with a few nuts, hummus with carrot sticks, a boiled egg, and some cherry tomatoes, a small handful of mixed nuts, and a piece of fruit. What to avoid during deep work: giant sugary snacks, big bags you mindlessly graze from, or anything so heavy you feel sleepy afterward. Pre-portion your snack before you sit down to work and keep it simple. Timing-wise, many people do well with a snack around the 3-4 hour mark of a long focus block, especially if lunch is still a ways off. Let's build a focus-optimized lunch that won't knock you out afterward. The main culprits behind post-lunch crashes are huge portions of refined carbs, heavy saturated fats, and big sugary drinks. A simple formula you can use: PFF plus color. That's protein, healthy fats, fiber-rich carbs, plus colorful vegetables. Examples: a bowl with grilled chicken or tofu, mixed greens, quinoa or brown rice, avocado, and a vinaigrette. A lentil soup with olive oil and a side salad. Whole grain wrap filled with beans, veggies, and hummus. Keep portions satisfying but not festival-sized, especially for the starch. You want to be comfortably full, not stuffed. If you struggle with afternoon crashes, experiment with reducing the carb load at lunch slightly and increasing vegetables and protein. Also, minimize alcohol with lunch on focus days. Even a small drink can significantly impair cognition and sap motivation for the rest of the afternoon. Micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals won't turn you into a superhero overnight, but being deficient absolutely drags focus down. Key players: B vitamins help with energy metabolism and brain function. Magnesium supports relaxation and stress management. Iron carries oxygen to the brain. Omega-3 fats, EPA and DHA, support cognitive function and reduce inflammation. Instead of chasing dozens of supplements, design your meals to cover bases: leafy greens, beans, and whole grains for B vitamins and magnesium, red meat, lentils, or fortified plant options for iron, fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or trout, or algae-based supplements for omega-3s, eggs or soy, plus varied fruits and vegetables for a spread of other nutrients. If you follow a restricted diet, it may be worth checking with a professional about B12, vitamin D, and omega-3 supplementation. But the foundation is always food: a diverse, colorful, minimally processed pattern that quietly supplies what your brain needs every single day. So what does a full 8-hour focus day actually look like on a plate? Let's walk through a sample timeline you can adapt. 7:30 a.m. Hydration. Large glass of water, maybe with a pinch of salt or electrolytes. 8:00 a.m. Breakfast. Greek yogurt with berries, a tablespoon of nuts or seeds, and a slice of whole grain toast. First coffee around now. 11:00 a.m. Snack. Apple with a tablespoon or two of peanut butter, plus water. 1:00 p.m. Lunch. Bowl with brown rice, black beans, or grilled tofu, chicken, mixed veggies, avocado, olive oil dressing, herbal tea or water. 3:30 p.m. Optional snack. Small handful of nuts and a tangerine, or hummus with veggie sticks. Decaf coffee or tea if desired. Throughout, steady water intake, avoiding heavy sugar bombs. You can swap in culturally familiar foods as long as you keep the same structure: protein plus healthy fat plus fiber-rich carbs. Let's talk about two realities: budget and time. Eating for focus doesn't require fancy superfoods. You can do this with supermarket basics and simple prep. Budget options: oats, eggs, frozen vegetables, canned beans, lentils, canned fish, store-brand Greek yogurt, and bulk nuts or seeds. These form the backbone of protein, fiber, and healthy fats without wrecking your wallet. Time-saving moves: cook a pot of grains and a tray of roasted vegetables once or twice a week. Pre-boil eggs. Portion nuts into small containers. Make overnight oats in jars for grab-and-go breakfasts. If you're always on the move, identify your go-to convenience options: plain yogurt cups plus a banana, supermarket salad bar with added boiled eggs or beans, whole grain wrap with lean protein, or even a protein bar plus fruit when nothing else is available. Perfection isn't required. Consistency is. Aim for better most days, not perfect on rare days. Let's quickly lock in the key ideas so you can actually use them. First, your brain runs best on stable fuel. That means avoiding big sugar bombs and building meals around protein, healthy fats, and fiber-rich carbs. Second, your first meal of the day is crucial. Within the first 90 minutes of waking, prioritize 20 to 35 grams of protein, some healthy fat, and slow-digesting carbs if you want them. Third, hydration and caffeine timing matter. Start with water, delay coffee 60 to 90 minutes, and keep caffeine to moderate doses in the first half of the day. Fourth, use strategic snacks. Small, balanced mini meals around the 3 to 4 hour mark to prevent crashes. Fifth, design a focus-friendly lunch with the PFF Plus color formula and avoid heavy, refined carb feasts if you hate afternoon slumps. Finally, Remember that diversity and consistency beat perfection. Simple, repeatable habits will do more for your focus than chasing the latest superfood trend. Now that you understand how food shapes your focus for the next 8 hours, the real impact comes from what you do tomorrow morning. Pick one thing from this video you'll change first. Maybe adding a protein-rich breakfast, pre-portioning your snacks, or pushing your first coffee back an hour. Start small, but start immediately. Your brain will feel the difference. I'd love to hear your plan. Drop a comment with what your next focus breakfast will be, or how you'll structure your next deep workday's meals. If this breakdown helped you, make sure you're subscribed and tap the notification bell so you don't miss upcoming videos on sleep, movement, and routines for peak mental performance. And if you know someone constantly battling afternoon crashes, send this their way. Finally, bookmark or save this video so you can revisit the sample day and meal formulas whenever you need to plan another high-focus block.